Venezuela is on the brink tonight. The South American country is in economic chaos. Violence in the streets, riots over food.
Your mind is not where, oh, what's he gonna throw me?
A Major League Baseball player taken at gunpoint.
Your mind is really focused on who's gonna come and kidnap me, who's gonna come and try to steal my stuff.
Experts say it could only be days before the tinderbox of Venezuela explodes.
Who's gonna try to do things to my parents? That's where your mind is.
It's early morning in Barquisimeto, Venezuela, and residents are shaking off the fog of another hot, sticky summer night. The gates to the main baseball stadium are unlocked. More than 100 of Venezuela's best young players have been assembled to audition for some of the most important scouts in the industry. Toronto Blue Jays Assistant General Manager Andrew Tinish knows what's at stake for these teenagers.
You watch some of these young 15, 16-year-old players play, and you could tell that this is something they want to do for their whole lives.
Mi vida es béisbol. Desde que me despierto que me acuesto es béisbol.
It's hard to imagine a longer road to professional baseball than this. Everson Pereira is one of the best 15-year-old prospects in Venezuela. He's being watched closely by the Jays and by their rivals.
Entrenando como tú no tienes idea, pararme temprano, comer cuando sea posible, si tengo un tiempo poder comer, acostarme tarde entrenando, despertarme con un sueño y dormir con un sueño.
He's done it again, Cabrera.
Venezuela has always produced baseball greats.
Altuve to left field. He hits this one hard and gone.
But for the past several years, baseball dreams have been lost in a national nightmare.
Venezuela is on the brink tonight. Violence in the streets, riots over food. Experts say it could only be days before the tinderbox of Venezuela explodes.
It's getting worse, man. If you don't have food, if you don't have money, if you don't have a job, the guys that they get a gun and they get to you to get some money. They need to get some money. You can go walk in the street next 7 p.m., 8 p.m., you can go out.
Players are scared to go to the ballpark, from their house to the ballpark. They're scared, their moms, they don't want them to be playing.
Reminders of how the troubles have affected baseball are scattered throughout Venezuela. Stadium projects under construction have been abandoned. And in towns throughout the country, there's little point in paying to maintain fields when young players struggle to find their next meal.
The lack of food is a problem for them. Some of them don't have the 3 meals a day that you should have. And that's a problem. You need energy to play baseball. You need to eat.
And as Venezuelans become more desperate, much of Major League Baseball is heading for the exits. Today, only 3 Major League teams have scouting operations here. A decade ago, there were 30.
This is an emergency. This is a big deal. And people need to understand that.
You're going to lose a generation of ball players.
You are. You are going to lose a generation. And that's sad, man. Maybe you're going to miss out on another Miguel Cabrera. Maybe you're going to miss out on another Hall of Famer.
Major League prospect Everson Pereira lives in a Venezuelan slum known as a barrio. For years, Everson's mother, Miriam, made empanadas out of corn flour and sold them for pennies to buy her son new gloves, bats, and cleats. Now, she lines up from dusk until dawn alongside thousands of others to buy necessities like rice, milk, and bread.
A veces ver a tu madre cansada, coño, pega. ver a hasta a una abuela, a una tía, hasta a veces mi propio padre. O sea, le ha tocado hacer cola para poder comer. Y es difícil.
Y él dice, mamá, yo lo primero que quiero es sacarte de aquí. O sea, no tengo palabras. Y esa es una mayor felicidad, porque mi hijo es muy maduro. Y, o sea... Entonces, o sea, aquí la situación está fuerte.
A Major League Baseball player taken at gunpoint.
Armed men kidnapped right in front of his family.
The situation is very, very bad, which made the business of the kidnapping industry very good.
Based in Caracas, Heraclio Gersi has negotiated the release of hundreds of kidnapping victims. He says baseball players and their families make especially attractive targets.
Everybody knows how much money they make because it's public, which maybe in the United States is seen one way. In here, in the criminal world, it's seen that it's a good person to be taken and, you know, ask for some ransom.
This is Jose Cardona. His son made Venezuelan baseball history in 2011. Adonis Cardona, then a 16-year-old pitcher, signed with the Blue Jays for $2.8 million. His payday was the second largest bonus ever received by a Venezuelan amateur free agent.
Mucha gente con emoción, con la firma, y uno asombrado. Una emoción que ahorita como estoy, bueno, una emoción, te imaginas, la emoción de aquellos tiempos.
Adonis is now 22 and playing for the Single-A Dunedin Blue Jays. He's bought his family a new seaside home, a Jeep, and a small hotel outside Caracas.
Orgulloso. Eso que hace, lo que ha hecho por nosotros, es una cuestión, bueno, increíble.
The Cardonas would seem to be set for life. But money doesn't buy everything. At a time when his family's good fortune makes him a target for criminals, Cardona still has to line up for hours in the dangerous streets to buy baby formula for his granddaughter.
Bueno, no hay que confiarse de nadie, pero es la niña que nos preocupa. Por lo menos uno con un vaso de agua, un huevito frito, ahí uno va para adelante. Pero por lo menos la niña que necesita la leche. Hay que buscar la solución, no sé cómo se ve. Pero esto está de pánico.
As fear spreads and baseball scouts leave the country, there's no doubt that some players are going to be overlooked.
In a couple years from now is when we're going to start seeing the lack of Venezuela. That's what I'm afraid. When Miguel Cabrera was a prospect, there was another Venezuela. It was very different. It was not the same thing we're living right now. It's a completely new story.